Are you plagued with feelings of jealousy in your marriage right now? Are you struggling to have that connection that you once had? Do you see him checking out other women, and do you feel like he's just slowly distancing himself from you? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you 4 feminine traits that men obsess over and that you really want to embrace in order to get him to really connect with you at the greatest level that you possibly can in your marriage. Now, the first trait is around compassion and empathy. One of the magnificent traits that feminine energy has is this ability to have compassion and empathy for people in different situations. There is something absolutely beautiful when you're going through something really, really difficult in a relationship, but the woman is able to genuinely express her compassion and her empathy for what her man is going through. You know, naturally there are going to be some tough times in a relationship. There are going to be some things that you disagree with what your husband or partner is actually doing. And, you know, there might be times where you're pissed off and you're angry at him and so on, and that's very understandable. But when a man is going through his own version of the storm, when he's struggling in his own mind, you know, the most difficult thing is when his partner is then getting frustrated at him and getting pissed off because of what it is that he's going through at that moment in time. There's something magical when the feminine energy can take a compassionate and empathetic view of the situation. You know, whether that's, you know, he's under a huge amount of pressure at work, or whether he's struggling in some other areas of life, whatever it may be. When he knows that his woman genuinely understands the kind of pain that he's in and is able to provide that tenderness and that care during those difficult times, you know, that's something that is such a wonderful experience for a man. Now, I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but I know you're going through your own level of pain, and I have complete empathy for it. I'm not saying that you have to take a submissive and, you know, subservient approach to him at all. All I'm saying is that we want to come from a place of love. We want to come from a place of genuine care for our partner. And that means there's going to be times where you're going through the fire and that he has to provide that for you, and then vice versa. But for a man, you know, when I talk to my male clients, they often tell me about the fact that they are going through a difficult time, and what they struggle with is if their partner is, you know, on their case regularly to do things and to get things done and so on, without understanding and empathizing with what they're challenged with at that moment in time. And so if you can take that approach and have that compassion, that care, it is just the greatest experience for a man. And when he receives that, he's going to want to give that back to you in spades. It's going to elevate him. And your value is then going to increase massively in terms of him. And what that does is allow him to get to a place where he goes, you know what? Why on earth would I want to go and look anywhere else for another woman or be attracted to someone when my woman over here is constantly meeting my needs at levels of 9, 10 out of 10, rather than at levels of, you know, 2, 3 out of 10. If those needs are constantly being met and there is that level of compassion, he's just simply not going to want to go anywhere else. The second trait is all around intuition. You know, I truly believe that women as a whole have a greater ability to connect in with their intuition compared to men. And so when a woman connects in with that part of her, you know, she's going to get different levels of insight around what to say, when to say it, how to say it to their partner. And so that might mean that she might get an intuition that says, you know what, he just needs a bit of space right now. He needs to sit in his cave and just play video games for a little bit, or, you know, want to go and play sports or whatever, but he's going to circle back around and we're going to have a lovely time, you know, tomorrow or whatever it is. Rather than coming from fear and then going, oh man, I really need his connection, I really need his attention, but I'm not sure if he's going to come back to me, so I'm going to push and push and push, which then makes him feel claustrophobic because he's like, man, I need some space and I can't get out of this situation. I find it so claustrophobic. And not only is it in terms of like having space, but also in situations when you're noticing that your husband is, you know, maybe going through some darker thoughts in his own mind, you're probably getting that feeling on the inside. You might just have the right thing to say at the right time. And don't discount your ability to do this. You know, I truly believe that you're all blessed with that connection on the inside in terms of that feminine energy. And when you really tap into it, it's going to allow you to know the right things to say, to give off the right energy to him. And he's going to accept it in a much greater way when it's authentic and when it's true to yourself, rather than if you're just reacting from a place of fear or anger and so on. So really learn to tap into that femininity. And there are ways that you can do that. I always believe in spending time in nature and really connecting in with your surroundings. If you've got pets, spend some beautiful time with them. Feel the love that you have for them, because that's going to fill your heart up. And then as it fills your heart up, you're going to have more love to give. Even just taking a couple of minutes and just breathing from your heart, really feeling the breath coming in and out of your heart and expanding that energy will allow you to expand more of that beautiful feminine energy on the inside and connect in with your own intuition. It's a beautiful thing. And as you do that, then you're going to get that insight that, okay, I feel like I need to say this, or I need to say this. And I know that you know this, because so many times when I've spoken to clients over the years, they might have had a gut feel that maybe their husband was cheating on them or something. And I said to them, well, how did you know? I said, I don't know. I woke up one day and I had this gut feeling, or, something, it just told me in the inside. I had this feeling that something wasn't quite right. So I needed to explore it. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to your intuition. I know that's a difficult example to give, but it could be in other areas of your life as well, where you feel that. Where you felt that intuition. It might have been a job that you might have got one time. You might have thought, I feel like I need to apply for this job, or, I need to message this person, or I need to go and, on this particular holiday, and then suddenly you had all these wonderful experiences as a result of it. Your feminine energy is powerful, it is magnificent, and you need to connect in with it as much as you possibly can. And as you do that, you will give off more of that radiance. You'll be able to connect with your husband at a deeper level, and he will also appreciate it massively. And thirdly, having that beautiful radiant and light energy is another example of feminine energy that men are just wildly attracted to. See, there is nothing more beautiful for a guy when he's around his woman and she's joyful and she's happy and she's playful and silly, and it's a magnificent experience for a man. Now, I know right now you're going through a tough time, so you're probably like, well, how can I possibly be happy and joyful and all that stuff? But that's where you've got to really connect in with who you really are. Who we are as people goes beyond our external circumstances. It's how we feel on the inside. And that's something that you have absolute control of. You can control what you think and how you feel on the inside. And that means you've got to put your energy into more gratitude, into more love for the things that you have around you, into abundance that exists around you. And try not to let your current external circumstances dictate how you feel on the inside. I get it, like I've so been there a million times in my life where I'm like, well, why the hell, how can I possibly feel happy when this is going on? But the truth is we absolutely can. We absolutely have the ability to shift how we feel on the inside, whether that's through breath work, whether that's through visualization, whether that's just through spending time. Like I've got my dogs around here and I love spending time with them, because when I do, it fills me up with as much love as I possibly can. And so you can do the same thing as well. It's connecting in with that radiance and that beautiful joy. And when a man is around that energy, when he is seeing his woman who is just so happy and joyful, he then feels like he's the one that's making you happy. And that makes him lift up and light up as well. And then as he does that, he's going to want to do more for you as well. As opposed to times where he might feel like, oh man, she's so pissed off at me, I don't even know what I've done this time round, and so on. And that then creates more tension, more anger, and more frustration, and creates more of a wedge between the two of you. So do what you can to bring more of that lightness and joy. Now, just to be clear, you're not doing it just to try and please him and make sure he's happy. You're doing it for you and the impact that it has on him as a byproduct of that. That's the thing I really want you to understand, because I'm not suggesting in any way that you have to be subservient and just do whatever it is that he wants you to do. Absolutely not. You have to be magnificent in your own way and be independent and all of that stuff. But I believe that when you do that, when you create more independence, when you're thriving, when you're enjoying life, when you're bringing more joy in total, then what happens is that has a positive flow and effect into your relationship. And that's what I really want for you. And then finally, it's allowing yourself to step more into the flow of life. You see, when women are coming from a place of fear and resentment and are trying to control the situation and trying to get their partners to act in a certain way and so on, so that they can get their own needs met all the time, what ends up happening is they're coming more from a masculine perspective. You know, rather than just allowing things to step more into the flow of life, they're trying to ensure that they grasp control to get the outcome that they're looking for. Now, once again, I complete empathy for it, because if you're going through a tough time in your marriage, and let's say you're going through a separation right now, you're going to be living in fear. That's just a normal place to be. And you're going to want to try and ensure that you're doing the things that you can to try and get him back as soon as you possibly can, using whatever means you possibly can. But when we're fearful, we don't have faith. When we don't have faith, we try and cling on to some form of hope. And when we're trying to cling on to that hope, we then start acting irrationally and doing things that aren't serving us for the highest good and aren't serving the marriage for the highest good. So what you want to be doing, though, is connecting in more with the flow of life. See, I really believe that, you know, the forces that allow planets to revolve around the sun and embryos to turn into babies and all those sorts of things, there is a higher power on some level that allows things to unfold in perfect order. And when you can trust in that higher power, and whether that's your belief in God, universe, your own self, whatever it is, connecting in with that flow of life is going to allow you to make the best decisions, which kind of ties into the intuitive points that I made earlier. It's when you actually connect in with your own intuition, you relinquish control and you allow things to flow in the right order. So if that intuition is saying, you know what, I need to just step back for a little bit and give him some space, great, that's what you can do. If that means that you know, okay, look, I need to have a conversation with him. I need to reach out to him, have a positive conversation. We need to talk about things that are going on. We need to work through, you know, how things occurred and how they got to this point right now, and then the steps that we need to take in order to move forward. Then you go ahead and you do that. It's just allowing yourself to be more flowing in life, rather than feeling like you have to control every little bit of your life and every aspect of life. And that could be in your career, that could be in your marriage, it could be with your kids, whatever it is. Go more into the flow. Know that you are being guided every step of the way. Know that your intuition is actually God flowing through you, or the universe flowing through you, rather than just something that's just been created in your own mind. Know that there is a deeper part of you that is actually supporting you for your highest good. And when you do that, then amazing things start to happen. You start to co-create. And I truly believe when we co-create, that's when magic starts to happen. That's when husbands come back. That's when things start to flow. That's when we attract the special person in our life. Now, I know that might sound lovely in theory, but it can sometimes feel hard to actually implement it, especially when you're in the fire. So I really want you to know that, you know, there is hope, that you can shift, that transformation is real. I really believe that. And so if you're feeling a little bit lost, if you're not sure about what you need to do in order to move forward and create the shifts that you're looking for in your life, then what I suggest you do is in the description section below, there's a link which just says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then I'll contact you at that scheduled time. Learn about where you are now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap in the shortest possible time. So once again, if this feels right for you, if you connect with my videos and so on, then just click on that link again, and I can't wait to be of service to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And do let me know if you've got any questions or takeaways or comments. I always love reading them. So make sure you write them below and I'll respond to every single one of you. And if you want to learn the 5 signs that he's truly serious about you, click this video below. Thank you so much. God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next video.